Okay. Well, good afternoon. So I'm recording this. I'm gonna talk as if I'm speaking to a public audience. This way, we can definitely use this later. Sorry, I'm in my Facebook here. That's not where I wanted to be. I wanted to be here. Oh, I just did that wrong. Okay. So today's topic is going to be part of a breakdown or a broken down aspect of an entire series that I want to do. So I still have a third one. I'm doing it a little bit out of order. The first one I did back in December. It was called Switch. It was called the elephant. Oh my God, I forgot it. The elephant. It's all about creating change. It's the elephant, the rider, sorry, and the path. And so it's the whole discussion is about creating change in your life. And it's funny, as trainers, we understand, as coaches, we understand that in order for somebody to reach the goals that they're trying to reach, they have to change certain things. The hard part is changing those things. And not everybody is as motivated as we think. Like when a person comes to us, say they want to change, they do. We always, in the back of our minds, we're always wondering, how bad do you really want to change? Because that's really the difference in whether or not a person makes their goals. Most people want to change something about themselves, but they're not really truly motivated about it. So when you get to the point, though, when you walk into a gym and you start to make that choice, you're at least that motivated. But even that in itself, it isn't enough. And so we have to figure out ways to get people to really, really start to create change in their life. And so Coach Christian put me onto this book. It's called Switch. And I've been reading it, and it's really, really fascinating. And it's definitely helped me in my coaching strategies. And so just to recap on what I did prior, the elephant, the rider, and the path. So those are three different aspects of this whole thing. The elephant is your emotional wants, like your emotional desires, where your emotions live. The rider is the logical, the brain, the analytical aspect of yourself. And the path is the environment, is where you're at. So and when I say environment, I'm talking about you specifically, your lifestyle, what's in your life, what's going on career-wise, family-wise, health-wise. Like these are all the things that are a part of your environment. And so in the order the first one I talked specifically about motivating the elephant and helping the rider do that. The rider's a person on a big elephant. So you have to be able to help both of them. The rider is always going to be analytical, is always going to navel gazer, sometimes very indecisive, most times very indecisive. So the elephant is very strong. It can bully its way through everything. The emotional side, people emotionally eat, people emotionally make decisions, right? Impulse. And so we have to figure out a way to get both of them to work together. And we talked a lot about that in my first presentation, but in this one, I want to talk about the environment. And then we're going to come back in my third one. We're really going to talk about the elephant, like specifically the elephant, because that's the big guy that we really got to get going. So without further ado, win within your environment. Okay. Like I said, your environment is your surroundings or conditions in which a person lives and operates. It's like your field of play, and everybody plays in a different field. Like if you go into, and let me give you an example. So in sports, in youth sports, the baseball fields are a certain size. And then when you get to college, it gets a little bit bigger. And when you get to the majors, it gets even bigger, right? And so, and even in other countries, the field's different. And so everybody's field is different. Football has same thing, different fields, even different leagues have different fields. One's a little wider. And so we have to understand that we are not living in somebody else's life, which is one of the big things of trying to do the same thing that everybody else doesn't always work, and it actually isn't as effective as we might think. Yes, there are some generalities, working out, eating right, but how do we do those in the life in which I live? That's the big thing. And the cards you're dealt, in a deck of cards, I Googled this, in a deck of cards, there are 2,500,000 598,960 possible hands that you can get down. So again, it's not just a cookie cutter approach to going about things. Oh, just do this. That doesn't always work because you personally have your life obligations, and some of them you cannot say no to, like kids, right? You can't just be like, oh, I'm not going to feed my kids today. I'm going to go work out, or oh, I'm not going to work today. I'm going to go work out. Like these things, you got to pay your bills. So there are certain things that you have to do. And so how do you win moving through these things? That's the big thing. Okay. All right. So how does this apply to fitness? So different fields for different lifestyles. Like I said, these are the things. Are you married? A person who's married has different obligations than a person who's single. A person who is married has different obligations from a person who is married with kids or single with kids, or, there's so many different things. And so understanding that, and because they say that comparison is the killer of all joy. You got to understand that, because remember, we're talking about emotions as well. That elephant, you don't want to put your elephant into a place where you're down on yourself, discouraged, and then you lack motivation, or you put yourself in a place where you just don't believe that you can do it anymore. And so understanding your environment, who you are, how you live, what the things in your life are surrounding, that's where you're going to start to create wins. And that's where we want to create wins. Other examples, some people have a 9-to-5. Some people work 60 hours a week. Some people own their own business, so they're always working, right? And so again, understanding these things and not allowing yourself to be a joy killer by comparing, oh, well, this person gets to do it and I don't. That's just, it's not smart, right? Being young versus being older. In your 20s, you're going to have so much more energy. Your body's not going to have as much wear and tear, where you're in your 50s and 60s. Hey, we've been around the block and your body's going to break down. You're going to get tired faster. These are just things that are true. It has nothing to do with how fast your metabolism or any of that. It's just biology. It's just how it works. Okay. Some people are born with health conditions. Some people are born with diabetes. So there's certain things that they got to do. Some people are born with glandular problems. So and that's going to create weight issues. So there's issues like this that are real. And again, we have to recognize these things so that we can work in a way that in our own life, we can create wins. Before we do that, though, we got to understand something. There's this thing called the fundamental attribution error. And now this is the inclination to attribute people's behaviors to the way they are rather than the situation they are in. Okay, what does that mean? So we think a person is a certain way because that's just who they are. Or we judge that certain things are certain ways because we think, well, that's just who they are as a person. When in reality, we don't have anything or any idea or inclination of what's going on in their life or what's going on at the moment. Like you see a person speeding down the street and, you think, oh, that guy's a jerk. He's just speeding. You don't know if that person has an actual emergency in their life and that's why they're speeding, right? Or maybe they're just having a bad day and that's why they're speeding. We can't just say they're a jerk. And I bring this up because we do this to ourselves as well. We do it inwardly as much as we do it outwardly, meaning we can easily, I'm sure many of you probably told yourself, that's just who I am. That's just the way I am. When in reality, it's not just who you are. It's more of a sense of your influences around you. Your lifestyle is creating this person or this image in your mind or this mindset that you're just that way when it's not. One of the things that I hear people, this is kind of an example, I hear people say diabetes runs in my family. That's not the case. The case is that habits, lifestyles, I'm sorry, not runs, it's hereditary in my family. Like it's, we're all going to get diabetes. And that's not true. So people automatically accept that. The reality is that certain people, they have bad eating habits from the beginning. And so these eating habits are what's passed on. It's a learned behavior. It's not who they are. It's a learned behavior. And so they automatically think, well, now I'm going to get diabetes too. And they do because they believe that. But the reality of it is It's the lifestyle around us, the people around us that are creating this mindset. When you change that, you can change the behavior, you can change who you actually are. And that's the goal, right? So many times the issue is the environment or the situation, it's not the person. So, you get 5 hours of sleep, that's not self-inflicted. That's that could be because you have kids or you have a baby and you have a career. And so you can't get 5 hours. I mean, that's all you can get because the baby wakes you up and you also got to go to work, right? Some people work out 2 to 3 days a week, others 4 to 5. It's not by choice. It's because that's just what life allows them to do. We get enamored by these things. You look at Cesar Millan. I know you're like, why Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer up here? Because you think of it this way. We as people love watching shows like this because because of this rule, the fundamental I can never say it, attribution error. We think, oh, that dog is just a mean dog. Oh, that dog is just a bad dog. You have no idea the trauma that dog had gone through, and that's why the dog is aggressive. Or, things like that. And it's the same with people. You have no idea the trauma they have gone through, and that's why they have eating disorders, or that's why, they put on weight, or that's why they're really skinny. Any of those things. And it's the same thing with us. We forget that we've had trauma in our life, or we've had certain things that were taught to us. And so that's why we believe what we believe today. But in reality, it's a learned behavior or a learned response from something that's come in the past. And again, we can change it if we change the environment that we're in. And that's really what we're looking to do. So tweaking your environment. This is honestly my last slide, because what I really wanted to do, or my hope was to have a whole bunch of people here. What I really wanted to do was talk about what those tweaks can be, okay? Give me a second, because I think laptop is dying, and I'm gonna plug it in. I apologize, everybody. So, tweaking your environment, okay? Making the right behaviors a little bit easier and the wrong behaviors a little bit harder. That's really what we're trying to do. So, if you, some examples, I'll give you these examples, okay? So I hear Christian tell his people this all the time. Put the foods that you like, the sugary foods or the sweets or the chips, far back in the pantry where it's hard for you to reach. So it's not easy for you to get up and just go grab one, versus having chips on the counter or the pound cake on the counter. That's super easy. You're walking by, you can easily pick it up, grab it. It's a done deal. You don't even think about it. And so having that, somewhere in the house where you're way back in your pantry where you don't see it's not eyes on, that's tweaking your environment. Okay. Another one is going to the gym at the right time of day. So again, we're talking about the rider and the elephant as well. If you go to the gym at the right time of day, it's not, what do I mean by that? The day or the time where it's not a hassle for you. You're not trying to squeeze it in. Like, it's the ideal time, and you're going to be happy, and you're not going to be stressed out about having to go. It's going to be, maybe you don't really want to work out, but you definitely know it's not a hard thing to just get up and go. So going at the right time of day, picking that time, that's when I'm less stressed. Like, I don't have to rush around. I don't have to rush out to go to work. I could just go in, do my thing, work hard, even go get a smoothie after, right? And so picking the right time, that's what I mean by tweaking your environment. Buying gym clothes. Some of us, we keep the same gym clothes all the time. The thing is buying new ones, because that feeling of having brand new gym clothes or brand new running shoes or brand new gym shoes gets us a little bit more pumped up. And that's another thing. We tweak our environment. We make it easier for us. We make us want to go to the gym or go for a walk or whatever it might be. It tweaks our behaviors, makes our behaviors just a little bit easier. I know people who do this. They bring their gym clothes with them, or they have a set in the car at all times. because if they're running late from work, or if they get out to work a little bit longer, they know they don't have to go all the way home, get their clothes and go to the gym. It's already there with them, because they know if they go home, the likelihood of them staying home is a lot bigger than if they had their clothes with them already. That's what I mean by tweaking your environment. There's so many different examples that we can talk about, that you can do. That's what the drill, the thing I want you to do is I want you to go into your day-to-day. I want you to write down what your daily schedule is. And I want you to look at, hey, where are some times of the day, where can I, where can I create some wins for myself? Like, and what do I mean by that? So if you look at your schedule, right, you look at your day-to-day, I wake up at this time, I'm in the shower by this time, I'm drinking my coffee by this time, I'm out the door by this time, I get to work by this time. Like, literally break it down by the hour, even by the half hour. And then look for times where you can create space for you to do behaviors that are easier, that can be meaningful and helpful, like a meal prep, or make a salad, or read a book that helps you with your health, right? Or your mindset. These are things like you finding I tell people to do this all the time. Create an alarm on your clock, on your phone, that tells you, hey, this is the time for you to eat. Because that's one of the things that we do, is we forget to eat, right? Or we just go through the day. I've done it. It's like you're busy, you're cranking, you're going, and next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you've eaten an apple or a banana. And so when you get home, you're starving. And so you hit like Jack in the Box or something like that, like something big and greasy and fatty that you know isn't going to be that beneficial for you. Or you do it and then you don't even want to cook because you're so hungry. You're like, I don't have time to cook. Like, I just want to eat right now. That's the elephant bullying you now. And your rider is completely powerless because they don't want to think. They're tired. So you're going to go ahead and do the wrong thing. And so that's where tweaking your environment comes in. Like, you need to set an alarm on your phone that tells you it's time to eat, and you have to listen to it. Like, it makes the behavior, like, that's another thing about tweaking your environment. If you see the cue, follow it. Don't ignore it. Don't just be like, I'm just going to keep going. Maybe just no, follow it. That's where the rider needs to really take control of the elephant. You got to follow it. You got to create these wins. And so you can continue to stack them. And when you continue to stack wins, these are called the bright spots. These bright spots in your day are where you're winning in your life, where you are winning, and repeat those, because the more you repeat those, the more wins you have. The more wins you have, the better you do overall. When your mind is in the right place and you're pumped up and fired up, and your heart's in the right place and you're pumped up and fired up, guess what else is going to be in the right place? Your motivation and your ability and willingness to work hard at the gym, work hard in your nutrition, work hard in your life, that's to move you further along towards your goals. That's what this whole thing is about, is creating the change that's going to last. And to do that, we have to, 1, make sure that we're thinking soundly. 2, control our emotions and make it and use our emotions to our advantage, not disadvantage. Okay. 3, create an environment in which we can win. And how do we do that? Is by looking for places we are already winning and repeating those behaviors and stacking those behaviors. And that's it. That's pretty much it. That's the gist of what tweaking your environment. I was really hoping for more people to be here so that they could give me ideas and we could go back and forth about what day-to-day things they do to help them wins and stack wins, and then we could build more there. So maybe I'll do this again another time so we can have an open audience. But that's really what I would want for you guys to do, is go through your day, go through your life, look at your house. Where is your gym clothes? Are they easily ready for you just to grab and go? Some are visuals, or are they stacked way behind, far back in the closet, or way behind, the back of your drawers? Put them in your car. Put a set of running shoes in your car. Where are the foods in your house? Where are all the fruits and veggies? Are they readily available and easy to see and bright and look fresh and yummy? and where are the cakes? Where are the chips? Where are all those things that you say you buy for your kids, but you know you're really buying for you? Are they put away somewhere so that you're not tempted by them? These are the things you want to go and look, tweak your environment to set yourself up for wins. Okay. And then that way you can start to stack more bright spots and make your whole week, your whole life bright. That's the goal. Okay, and that's my presentation, team. Short and to the point. Well, I was hoping for more of a discussion, but that's okay. We'll catch you guys again on the rebound. But Jen, do you have any questions? There is somebody here. Hi, Jen. She's here.
Well, actually, what you just said about tweaking your environment, to me, it's more like self-discipline. So you have to discipline yourself in what you do and what you eat, whether it's work or personal life. You just have to set that behavior for yourself, because
Yeah.
all this information is very helpful. And to be honest, I have been disciplining myself for years, and it's hard. It's not easy, because there are temptations. There are days that you just want to give up, but you just have to follow through. And it's almost like people tell you that, count your blessings and read your Bible. It's pretty much, for me, self-discipline is my Bible.
Mm.
Yeah.
And why do you, and this is something that's super important. Why do you discipline yourself, Jen?
Well, first of all, health is very important to me. And at one point in my 30s, I've gained a lot of weight, because I was trying to have a kid. And to make the long story short, I took all kinds of fertility drugs and Chinese herbs and things like that. But instead of having a kid, I gained like 25 pounds, and which in turns make me feel really depressed. And I just, told myself one day, I said, this is not going to happen, because I'm only 5'2", and that 25 pounds makes me look like a really very obese person. So to me, health is very important to me, regardless of what other people think or said about me. For me, I think about myself first. It's number one for myself first. I am doing it for myself, not for other people. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's the best way. That's the best way. But what I want people to hear is I hear how passionate you are about that. Like how like I this is I feel this way and I want this. Like I refuse to allow myself to be that way.
Exactly.
That's your why. That's how passionate and that's how strong it is. And
Yes.
that's where and that's the thing. When you know these things, it's easier for you to do the behaviors. And like you
Exactly.
said, even when it's hard, you push through because no, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to
Exactly.
go back there. And so you push through, you make it happen. And that's what I want everybody to. That's another thing, another good thing to do for yourself is to sit there and ask yourself, why? Why do I want to get healthier? Why do I want to lose weight? Or why do I want to gain weight? Or why do I want to change? Why? If you don't know a clear why, and I mean down to the root, it can't be, well, because just because I want to, or because somebody's telling me I need to. No, you have to
Mhm.
have a reason why. And why is important. It is
Exactly.
super important.
Yes. Very true. Definitely.
Rock
Yes.
and roll. Okay.
Yep.
Well, Jen,
Um,
any other questions? Do you have anything else you want to add?
no, pretty much, what you just, presented, it's very thorough, and it's upfront, and it's easy to understand. And thank you for sharing the information with, even though I'm just only one here today, but I appreciate it. And I love the fact that you're very engaging to all of us at the gym, and whether it's at the gym or on, in video, you guys are amazing, like
Oh, thank
sharing
you, Jen.
with us. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I am actually very grateful that you're here because I know I had nobody here. So thank you, Jen. I very,
Yeah,
very much
no
appreciate
worries.
it.
It
And we
actually
love
gives
doing that.
Yeah, it actually gives me a chance to, ask questions. A lot of times when we have different people, and I kind of listen, to hear different people's opinions and feedback, because we all come from different walks of lives, and all of us are not the same. So there's different people have different struggles and hardships in their lives.
Yeah,
Just like
exactly.
this
Exactly.
before. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Well,
Well,
Jen, thank you again. It's
You
a beautiful Saturday, so make sure you get out there and enjoy it.
I know I will. I'm gonna go shopping later.
There you go.
Thank
There
you so
you
much.
go.
Okay,
Bye,
I'll see
Jen. Have a good.
you too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.